When I was younger, I was a huge fan of Gravity Falls, and still am, so it's no surprise if I tell you this is what my notebooks look like when I was 11. So if you guys thought this was clickbait, ha! You are very wrong. I never clickbait. But yeah, I was so obsessed with the show as a kid. Of course I ended up learning the ciphers. I even made some of my own. And if you make it to the end of this video, I'll show you the one I'm most proud of. I'm pretty sure if my younger self was the one running this channel, my bio would have been very different. And some of my posts would have been written in code. Except in Visionaire, to which I only sorta started understanding after watching Lemmy-No's video on the Cryptos code. Man, that would have been really helpful when I was like 11. His Cicada 301 video was my favorite as a kid, and I think I even went to 4chan at some point just to ask around like, hey, have you guys heard from Cicada recently? And oh my god, I'm so glad that that's the only thing I ever did on that site. I just asked that question and never went back. But anywho, back to the topic of the video. I think I already painted a pretty clear picture on what I was like as a kid. So this whole thing started when I was in 5th grade. My closest friend ended up being placed in the morning class while I was in the afternoon class, so for the most part of that school year, I was kind of alone. I mean, I still had friends, sure, but I wanted to find someone who was into Gravity Falls as much as I was. And I knew my current friends in that class weren't really about that. So one day, I had an idea. I had a habit of writing codes in my notebook when I was either bored or wanted to vent. So I said, hey, if I started leaving secret codes around my school, then maybe I'd be able to find people who are curious enough to try and solve them. And when they do, I'll have the last code lead them to my classroom, and they'd become my new best friend. Yippee! I wish I was joking, but this was actually my plan, and the reason why I did this. So yeah, I got to work, and I had written a bunch of paper slips by hand, and each one had 3 different parts. The first row used an A1Z26 cipher, and had the clue to solve the next row. And I guess little me just assumed that someone would know that. So there was no clue for the first row. And, you guys will laugh, but the second row had the G, K, and D alphabet. I doubt you guys know what that is. Essay video time. If you don't know what G, K, and D is, it was a planned sequel to Codename Kids Next Door. Wait, no, please go back. This will be good, I promise. Back in 2012 to 2016, Mr. Warburton, the creator of Codename Kids Next Door, alongside other people who worked on K&D, teamed up again to start the GKND project. I'm not gonna go too deep into detail because I'm definitely gonna yap about it for too long. But basically, they started a whole hunt thing. There were multiple clues left around the internet, and a website. Ooh, guess who got their grimy little hands on it? If you opened the website, you had to enter a password, and once you put the correct one, it'll lead you to a pilot. And even though you can just technically watch the pilot on YouTube, I recommend going to the site. It's way more fun. Oh, and it's up to you to find the password, sorry. It became one of my favorite codes to use, and I think at some point I was able to write it without having to look at a sheet. But yeah, after I finished writing that down, I moved to the 3rd row. But, there is one problem. Another thing that my younger self really liked doing was mixing other ciphers. And I would be lying if I said I could solve the ciphers that I left in my old notebooks today. I don't know how to solve them anymore because I used different kinds of mixes. I don't know. Even I can't solve them anymore. I guess little me did her job. So, to be frank, I don't remember what shift I used in the last row. But basically, I remember it was supposed to be the hardest part because it had my classroom's name and my name on it. It was like an introduction, like, oh, you won, here's your prize, a freak like you. And if you think I'm gonna show the unsolved ones in this video, you'd be wrong, because if you solve it and it turned out to be something personal, yeah, no thanks. I will take these secrets to the grave. But yeah, I ended up leaving those codes around my school, and I did that for a good month or two. Not many people paid attention to it, obviously. Just one, huh? What the heck is this? And then, boop, in the garbage it goes. I got so desperate at some point for someone to find it that I left it on my classroom's door. Like, I just stuck it there. And whenever someone would pass by, I'd be like, guys, look, isn't this weird? But yeah, no one paid attention, it didn't really go anywhere. Little me was deprived of the paranormal obsessed friend that she always wanted. But hey, at least high school won't be so bad. Okay, here's the alphabet that I promised that I would show you guys if you made it to the end of this video. And you can probably already tell where it is. And you can probably already tell what it says, but if I go here, this, and do this, ta-da! It's the broken alphabet, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Looking back at now, it just kind of looks like a minimalist font, but if you use it in a sentence like this, I'd say it's pretty hard to tell what it says. I even had it tested and passed it around my classmates to see if they could read it, and a good chunk of them said no, so I'd say it did its job. But I do have this, which is the updated version. As you can see, added lowercase, and yeah. See ya. I wish I could tell you guys a much more interesting ending to it, but reality is often disappointing. But thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. I wasn't expecting for it to be 8 minutes long. I guess I yapped too much. If you guys don't know why I've been away and why this video took so long to make, it was because I was working on VTuber models in the lore video. One of them is Enzio Argento, and his debut was just a few weeks ago, so go check him out. I rigged his model and animated his lore video, and it was really cool to be a part of that. He was also very nice and patient with me, because I did make a lot of errors, but yeah, it meant a lot to me because it was my first live 2D commission. But anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye bye!